Let Us Eat, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by and checking me out. Today I am going to be doing a little bit of cooking and a little bit of cleaning. And in my crock pot I'm going to be making broccoli cheddar soup. And I have my cheese ready, and I have my broccoli ready. And I'm going to start by washing up some dishes. Just picking up the kitchen a little bit, and then I'm going to clean up in the dining room because we're having a friend over for our birthday dinner tonight. We're going to be making him a prime rib, and we're going to have shrimp for an appetizer, and every year we usually have him over for a nice big meal on his birthday weekend. With that said, let's get it right into the recipe. I'm going to start by putting together the soup, and then I'm going to get into cleaning up the dishes so that way all the dishes are done at once. I have my crock pot preheated. I'm going to mince my onion for the broccoli cheddar soup. You can also add carrots if you want into the soup, but I don't add carrots into mine. I already wiped my counter down before I set up my camera to record the cooking video. And these are strong onions this morning. I rinsed my hands already. And I wiped them on the stainless because it stops the burning sensation in your eyes. It works every single time. It's my trick for when you're cutting onions, because there's all kinds of ways, but that's the best way and most efficient for me. This onion is cutting a lot better than the other one did. If you watched my previous cooking video, yesterday I worked with yeast for the first time since culinary school, and I made French bread in the Dutch oven, and it came out very well. Going to run the knife through so all the big pieces are in a minced form. I'm going to set that part of the onion aside for a dish for tomorrow. Now I'm prepping some lunches for myself for the week, and I'm going to freeze some for the following week. You can freeze broccoli cheese soup. It freezes very well. And put that onion in there. And at this time I'm going to add my Bouillon cube. I buy these bulk at our BJ's, which is like a Costco. Now I'm not going to add any water yet into the crock pot because I want to get my cheese cut. I got this cheese from one of my free food hauls, and I saved the boxes because they're very useful when you have a gerbil. I'm going to cut the wrapper like that. Move the crock pot out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to use the entire brick of cheese. I'm going to cut my cheese so it melts better, and I rinse my knife from the onion. You should never cross-contaminate different foods. And just cut it all the way through. want them too big of a chunks so they melt evenly. This is like a Velveeta cheese. It's generic, but it's just as good. Keep an eye on your hands. And put the cheese right into your crock pot. Now my cutting part is all done. This is a very easy soup to put together in your crock pot. Now I don't have a evaporated milk, and I said condensed milk, so do not put condensed milk into your soup. It'll be too sweet. I'm going to use a cream of celery just to give it some flavoring and creaminess. And then I'm going to add three cans of the 10-ounce can of water. You do not dilute the cream soup. You put it in as is, and you want the water to come up to above the cheese. So you may need to add 3.5 cans. Kind of eyeball it, and that looks good enough. I'm going to open my broccoli and buy Bird's Eye. And I'm not a sponsor, I would love to be. You pick them up usually at our local ShopRite or Walmart, depending on who has the best price. And make sure all the broccoli goes into the crock pot. And you're going to add 2 teaspoons of garlic. Just eyeball it, or you can measure it. And 3 teaspoons of fresh black cracked pepper. I'm going to turn my crock pot to high to ensure that the cheese will melt before lunch. So I'm going to let it sit on high for a couple hours. Now the cheese is going to melt with the cream soup and water and Bouillon cube and be delicious. Here's what the broccoli cheddar soup looks like. And I substitute my evaporated milk with cream of celery soup, and it will turn out just the same. And if you find it a little flat, add a tablespoon of flour to thicken it. It'll be nice and creamy. Moving along to the cleaning part. I'm going to rinse my can out for the recycle bin. Rinse my coffee filter out. And I'm going to let the water get heated just till it feels like almost like a bee sting. Give my countertop a quick wipe down. So it's ready for the next meal, which will be lunchtime. And then I'm going to wash up all these dishes and I'll be right back. I'm going to finish by wiping out my sink completely and giving it a good clean. Just a little bit of soapy water. If you have stains, you can use baking soda and vinegar to get the stains out. wipe it down completely with soapy water, and then you're going to rinse it with your hose, if you have a hose attachment. I just did my dish rack, and I'll be doing it again during the week, and I always do it underneath it once a week, so the countertop doesn't get yucky. Rinse your sponges out thoroughly with the hot water, so when they dry all the germs are gone, and you can put them in the microwave for 25 seconds before you use them. That will also kill the germs, but keep in mind you'll have to throw it away after that use. You shouldn't microwave things more than once. Turning the attention to the dining room, I always have the table cleared off at night, so I'm going to put the gerbil on the table and take care of her cage and feed her and everything, and then once that's completed, she's going to go into the bedroom for the day, because I'm going to clean up the buffet and behind it and wipe it down and the table down, because we're having the prime rib for dinner with our friend tonight, and we're going to need the buffet for the extra table space. The gerbil's cage has been cleaned and she's been fed. And you can use your Swiffer and dryer sheets to also clean up the baseboards for the heat. Lots of hacks. That looks heavy, and it is heavy. Okay, the base buffet is back up against the wall. Sweep up over here, and then on the other side of the table, and then I'll put the gerbil in my 11-year-old's room, where she goes when we have company. I recently showed this in one of my hauls. It's the Butler, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to go to the other side of the table and sweep up this mess. Gerbils are very messy creatures, but if you learn how to control their mess, they are a wonderful, fun pet to have and love. Sweep off the table. We got a very happy gerbil in here. You can see her running around. And she's going to shred on that cardboard. Kisses. And I get kisses because I'm grandma. And she's going to show off what she can do. That's her little house she sleeps in at night. And she's going to burrow until she tires herself out for a nap. I'm going to put her in the other room, and I'll be right back. Don't forget to take drinks of water when cleaning. Then you can dehydrate. I live in the mountains in upstate. Not the Adirondacks, but about, I don't know, 3 hours from the Adirondacks, maybe 4. Depending on where you go. And our air is a little drier up here. Using my all-purpose cleaner from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to spray the surfaces and the buffet behind me. Wipe them down. I'm also going to do the brooms and the chairs. If you have these kind of chairs, you should do this part once a week because they get dirty easily. I'm not sure how, but they do. You have a small space. If you keep things clutter-free, like your table, and it looks so much nicer in the room when you first enter it. It's going to give the black table edges a quick wipe too. I'm going to tidy up the shoes in here, and I'm going to do a quick mop. Using your Swiffer, or whatever mop you prefer. I like this one because I don't have a dirty mop head to worry about. And I can replace the mop head on the Swiffer, I believe, if it gets too gross after washing it completely off. One of my children has woken from their deep sleep. Mine like to sleep in. I'm glad they are not up early, because Mom is. I'm going to run the mop over the floor. And if I find any extra mulch, I will sweep that up after I mop, and I will be right back. The sink is all cleaned out except for my wooden spoon, and I'll put the dishes away in a little while. Countertop completely wiped down. My broccoli cheddar soup is looking spectacular. And I'm going to be putting this into containers and freezing some for the following week. I wiped down the garbage can and the top of the stove and my little coffee station next to the stove. I'll be doing another video soon on window cleaning because my windows come out and you can wipe the outside of them. I don't believe the top does though, but I always do these 3 times a year. Mopped and swept the foyer. I swept and cleaned all the baseboards that you see to the right. Excuse my cord that I keep my phone plugged in. And the tabletop is disinfected, wiped down, as well as my buffet over on the right, which you don't really get a good view from. And I swept and mopped the TV room. And then I'll wipe down the TV when my kid gets up. She likes to sleep on the couch. The shoe rack is tidied up. We did our laundry yesterday, and I put away laundry last night. So I don't have any of that to do. And I swept the little foyer, and then I'm going to scrub the bathroom in a little while. And I have a bag of food to go to our friend. At this time, if you liked my video, please give it a big thumbs up. and look for that red subscribe word, and please click on it. And also tap the bell to get all my cooking and cleaning videos and your notifications. I like to do cooking, cleaning, grocery hauls, Dollar Tree hauls, organizing, and decluttering. And I do everything on a budget. So follow me for really great, cheap to free ideas to keep your home clean and decluttered for 2021.